Tesla made a $1,900 electric ATV for kids. It sold out in hours. Parents called it the ultimate gift, a miniature slice of the future. And then, just 2 months later, the federal government forced Tesla to recall every single one. This is the story of how the world's most valuable car company launched a children's toy and forgot to follow the rules. December 2021, Tesla's online store goes live with something nobody expected. Not a new car, not a software update. A kid's ATV called the Cyberquad for kids. It looks like it rolled straight out of a sci-fi film. All sharp angles, matte gray body, LED light strips. It's basically a mini Cybertruck on 4 wheels. The specs? Top speed of 10 miles per hour, a range of 15 miles, designed for kids 8 and up. And the price tag? $1,900. Now here's the thing. This wasn't Tesla's idea. The Cyberquad was actually made by Radio Flyer. Yes, that Radio Flyer, the little red wagon company. Tesla slapped their branding on it, sold it exclusively through their website, marketed it as the perfect companion to the Cybertruck, and people went absolutely insane for it. Within hours, it was sold out. Parents scrambled to get one before Christmas. Resellers listed them for $3,000, even $4,000 online. It was a viral moment. TikTok unboxings, Instagram flex posts, YouTube reviews. Tesla had created a luxury toy for the EV generation. But there was a problem brewing. A big one. And Tesla either didn't see it coming or didn't care.
Here's what most people didn't know. In the United States, there are strict federal safety standards for youth ATVs. They're managed by the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the CPSC. And those standards exist for a reason. Between 2016 and 2020, over 200,000 kids were injured on ATVs. Dozens died. So the CPSC created mandatory rules, things like maximum speed limits based on age, tire pressure requirements, mechanical suspension systems, flame-out protection. These aren't suggestions, they're law. And here's the kicker. The Cyberquad for kids didn't meet any of them. No mechanical suspension, it used a rigid frame, no proper tire markings, and Tesla never submitted it for CPSC certification. They just launched it. Now, you might be thinking, wait, didn't Radio Flyer know this? They did. Radio Flyer had made youth ATVs before. They knew the regulations inside and out. But the Cyberquad wasn't sold as a Radio Flyer product. It was sold as a Tesla product, exclusively on Tesla's website, under Tesla's brand. And that made Tesla responsible. So when the CPSC started getting reports, kids tipping over, injuries, complaints from parents, they started asking questions. And what they found shocked them. Just 2 months after launch, the CPSC issues an official recall. Not a warning, not a suggestion, a mandatory stop sale and recall of all 5,000 units. The reason? The Cyberquad violated federal safety standards and posed a risk of injury or death. Tesla had to contact every buyer, offer full refunds, pull the product entirely. The recall notice was blunt, clinical, and kind of brutal. It listed every violation, every ignored regulation, every missing certification. And here's the wild part. Tesla fought back. In their public statement, they said the Cyberquad was safe when used as directed. They argued it wasn't technically an ATV, it was a toy vehicle. But the CPSC didn't care about semantics. If it looks like an ATV, rides like an ATV, and can injure a child like an ATV, it's an ATV, and it needed to follow the rules. The internet had a field day. Some people defended Tesla, said the government was overreaching, that parents should decide what's safe for their kids. Others pointed out the obvious. Tesla, a company worth hundreds of billions of dollars, had just been publicly schooled on basic product safety. One tech journalist put it perfectly. Tesla can engineer self-driving cars, but couldn't Google youth ATV regulations. The refunds went out, the Cyberquads disappeared, and Tesla quietly removed the product page from their website. No apology, no explanation, just silence. So, what actually happened here? How does a company like Tesla, masters of engineering, innovation, disruption, mess up something this basic? The answer is simpler than you think. Overconfidence. Tesla had spent years breaking the rules, not laws, but norms. They sold cars online when everyone said it couldn't be done. They ignored dealerships, skipped traditional advertising, rewrote the playbook. And it worked, spectacularly. But somewhere along the way, that confidence turned into arrogance. They assumed they could do the same thing with a kid's toy. Launch it fast, move quickly, disrupt the industry. Except this time, they weren't disrupting car dealerships or ad agencies. They were dealing with federal child safety laws. And those don't care how innovative you are. Here's the irony. Radio Flyer, the company that actually made the Cyberquad, already knew all of this. They'd worked with the CPSC before. They understood the regulations. But Tesla was the one selling it. Tesla was the brand on the box. And Tesla didn't do their homework. There's a bigger lesson here too. This wasn't a failure of engineering. It was a failure of process. Tesla's entire identity is built on speed. Move fast, ship fast, iterate fast. And in the tech world, that works. You can release a buggy app and patch it later. But you can't do that with physical products, especially not products for children. Because once a kid gets hurt, there's no software update that fixes that. The Cyberquad recall is a perfect case study in what happens when tech culture crashes into regulated industries. You can't disrupt safety standards. You can't pivot away from the law. And you definitely can't assume the rules don't apply to you.
The Tesla Cyberquad for kids lasted exactly 60 days on the market. 5,000 units sold, 5,000 units recalled. And a lesson learned the hard way. Even billion-dollar companies can forget the basics. Even the most innovative brands in the world can trip over the fundamentals. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how cool your product looks. If it doesn't meet the safety standards, it doesn't ship. Tesla fans still talk about the Cyberquad like it's a legend. Some people kept theirs despite the recall. They're collector's items now. But for Tesla, it was a rare public stumble. A reminder that even when you're building the future, you still have to follow the rules of the present.